Today lesson is Geography 2 Lithosphere 2 Exogenetic Processes. The Earth is a dynamic system that undergoes various changes due to internal and external processes. The continuous interaction of these two processes controls the structure of the Earth's surface. You can see here the exogenic process is divided into weathering and mass movement and gradation. Weathering and mass movement also divided into physical weathering, chemical weathering, biological weathering. Gradation is divided into degradation and aggradation. The external processes are the consequence of solar energy and gravitational forces. Okay, what is weathering? Weathering is the breaking. Weather is not the climate here. Weathering is the breaking, disintegration and decomposition of materials of the Earth's crust by their exposure to atmosphere. Movement of huge volumes of weathered rock material down the slope due to gravity is called mass movement or mass wastage. For example, rock slide, landslide, debris fall, mud flow. Okay. Weathering also divided into three types: physical weathering, chemical weathering and biological weathering. Already I said we will see about one by one. What is physical weathering? It is the breakdown of rocks without changing their chemical composition through the action of physical forces. The constant freezing and thawing of rocks during the night and day leads to expansion and contraction of rocks. For example, here also different types. We can see the different types of weathering also here. See, exfoliation, block disintegration, granular disintegration. First one we will see about here exfoliation. The alternate heating and cooling or alternate. So on the rounded rock surfaces leads to the peeling of rocks. You can see in the picture peeling of rocks layer by layer like an onion. This is called exfoliation. Sheeting and shattering or the other forms of exfoliation. Next one, granular disintegration. Granular disintegration takes place in crystalline rocks where the grains of the rocks become loose and fall out. This is due to the action of temperature and frost. Next one is block disintegration. Repeated expansion and contraction of rocks during day and night respectively causes stress on the joints of the rocks which results in block disintegration. Next one we will see about the chemical weathering. Disintegration and decomposition of rocks due to chemical reaction is called chemical weathering. Chemical weathering takes place through the process of oxidation, carbonation, solution and hydration. The agents of chemical weathering are oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen and water. First one we will see about oxidation. What is that? Oxygen in the atmosphere reacts with the iron found in rocks. Thus leads to the formation of iron oxide. This process, similar to the rusting of iron, pressure of air and water, is known as oxidation, which results in the weakening of rocks. Next one, carbonation. Carbonation is the mixing of water with the atmospheric carbon dioxide, forming carbonic acid. Carbonation is important in the forms of caves. Next one, solution. The process of dissolution of rock substances in water result in the loosening of the rock particles. Thus, in turn, breaks down the rocks. Next one, hydration. Certain chemicals in the rock enlarge in size in humid conditions. These minerals found in the rock swell and this result in development of cracks and the rock wears down. This type of weathering is called hydration. Next one is biological weathering. Biological weathering occurs due to the penetration and expansion of plant roots, earthworms, burrowing animals like rabbits, rats, and some human activities also. Next one is gradation. Gradation is the process of leveling of the land by means of natural agents like rivers, groundwater, winds, glaciers, and sea waves. Gradation takes place in two ways: degradation and aggradation. What is the gradation or denudation? It is the leveling, wearing down of the land surface by various natural agents. Aggradation. What is aggradation? Aggradation is a building up of landforms due to natural agents. Degradation is eroding of land surface. Now we will see about the agents of gradation. First one is running water. That is a river. Running water river. The work of running water, that is a river, is the most extensive among all the other agents of gradation. Rivers originate on higher landforms like mountains, hills, and plateaus, isn't it? That receive water from various sources like the rain, glaciers, springs, lakes, etc. The place where the river originates is called as source, and where it joins the sea is as its mouth. Course of the water. Rivers generally originate from mountains and end in sea or lake, isn't it? The whole path of that river flows through is called its course. That course of the river is divided into upper course, middle course, and lower course. Okay, first we will see about upper course. Erosion is the most dominant action of river in the upper course. In this course, a river usually tumbles down the steep mountain slopes. The steep gradient increases the velocity, and the river channel performs erosion with great force to widen and deepen its valley. The land features carved by a river in its upper course are V-shaped valleys, gorges, canyons, rapids, potholes, spurs, and waterfalls. Next one is middle course. Here river enter the plain in its middle course. The volume of water increases with the confluence of many tributaries and thus increases the load of the river. Thus the predominant action of a river is transportation. Position also occurs due to the sudden decrease in velocity. The river in the middle course develops some typical landforms like alluvial fans, floodplains, meanders, oxbow, lakes, etc. The lower course. The river moving downstream across a broad, level plain is loaded with debris brought down from its upper and middle courses. Large deposits of sediments are found at the level bed, and the river splits into a number of channels called distributaries. The main work of the river here is deposition, and it develops typical landforms like delta and estuary. Now we will see about erosional and depositional of river, wind, like that. Okay, waves. First one we will see about erosional landforms of river. Types of weathering. What is that here? Gorges and canyons, waterfall, V-shaped valley, pothole, meander, oxbow, lake. This is made from erosional. Okay, erosional. Already I said the example also. So first one we will see about gorges and canyons. When the river flows through a mountainous region made up of hard rocks, it forms a valley with almost vertical sides called gorge. In India, deep gorges have been formed by Brahmaputra and Indus in the Himalayas. A deep gorge with steep sides that runs for hundreds of kilometers is referred to as canyons. Example, Grand Canyon of the river Colorado in the USA. Next one is waterfall. Waterfall. When a river flows in a region where hard rocks lie over soft rocks horizontally, the soft rocks get eroded quickly and the hard rocks projects outwards. Thus, the river falls vertically from a steep slope to form a waterfall. When the water falls with great force, it erodes the rock material beneath and creates a depression called a plunk pool. Shallow fast following water in a stream is called a rapid or river jumps. Next one is V-shaped valley. V-shaped valley is formed by the vertical erosion of the river where the valley is deepened and widened. Pothole. Due to the river action, cylindrical holes are drilled vertically in the riverbed with varying depth and diameter. These called potholes. Next one is meander. As the river loaded with the debris flows slowly, it forms sweeping loops and ends. It is referred to as a meanders. Next one is oxbow lake. Meanders in due course of time become almost a complete circle with narrow necks. This in turn gets abandoned and form a lake. This is called an oxbow lake. Next one can see in the picture oxbow lake, then crescent shaped lake. Okay, next one, depositional landforms of river. First one is alluvial fan. A fan shaped deposition made by the river at the foothills is called an alluvial plain. Next one is floodplain. Fine sediments are deposited on river banks. When a river floods, these sediments make the region rich and fertile. This is called a floodplain. Next one is delta. A triangular shaped low-lying area formed by the river at its mouth is called delta. Deltas have fine deposits of sediments enriched with minerals. Example, Kaveri Delta, Tamil Nadu. As an agent of gradation, underground water creates distinct landforms in limestone regions called karst topography. Karst topography, what is water? Is an active agent in limestone regions. Karst topography is formed due to the dissolution of soluble rocks such as limestone, dolomite and gypsum. Karst region are also found in southern France, Spain, Mexico, Jamaica, western Cuba, central New Guinea, Sri Lanka and Myanmar. Next one we will see about erosional but in the water. Erosional landforms of underground water. Most of the erosion takes place due to the process of solution. When rainwater mixes with the carbon dioxide and enters into a limestone region, it dissolves and destroys much of the limestone. As a result, landforms such as terra rosa, lapis, sinkholes, swallow holes, dolines, uvalas, polges, caves and caverns are formed. First one we will see about terra rosa. Terra rosa, Italian term for red soil. Deposition of red clay soil on the surface of the earth is due to the dissolution of limestone content in rocks. The redness of the soil is due to the presence of iron oxide. Next one is lapis. When the joints of limestone rocks are corrugated by groundwater, long furrows are formed and these are called lapis. Sinkholes. A funnel-shaped depressions formed due to dissolution of limestone rock is called sinkholes. Their average depth ranges between the 3 and 9 meter. Next one, caves and caves and caverns. Caves or hollows that are formed by the dissolution of limestone rocks when carbon dioxide in air turns into carbonic acid after its reaction with water. They vary in size and shape. Caverns are the caves with irregular floors. Swallow holes, Ivalas, dolomites, polges are the other erosional features of karst regions predominant in other parts of the world. Next one, here depositional. How depositional landforms of undergo underground water. It is interesting to know that the varied depositional features are formed on the floor, ceiling and walls of the caves and caverns of the karst topography. Stalactite, stalagmite and column. When the water containing dissolved calcite gradually drips from the ceiling of the caves, water evaporates and the remaining calcite hangs from the ceiling. You can see in the picture, hanging. Thus, stalactites are formed. When the calcite deposits rises upward like a pillar, stalagmites are formed. Sometimes stalactite and stalagmite meet together to form columns or pillars. Next one, glaciers. Glaciers is a large mass of ice that moves slowly over the land from its place of accumulation. It is also known as a river of ice. The place of accumulation is called snowfield. The height above which there is a permanent snow cover in the higher altitude or latitude is called snow line. Next one is the gradual transformation of snow into granular ice is called fine or neve, and finally it becomes solid glacial ice. Here we will see about erosional and depositional landforms of glacier. First one, erosional. Glaciers are powerful erosive agents. Some important erosional landforms are Sark, Artis, Matterhorn, U-shaped valley, hanging valley, fjords, etc. Most of these glacial features are predominantly seen in countries like Switzerland, Norway, etc. First one we will see about Sark. The glacier erodes the steep side walls of the mountain and forms a bowl-shaped armchair-like depression. It is termed as cirque. Next one is Arti. Arite, I think arite. Arites are narrow ridges formed when two cirques walls joined together back to back and forms a narrow knife-like ridges. Then pyramidal peak. The pyramidal peaks formed the three or more cirques meet together, Matterhorns. U-shaped valley. When the glaciers moves down along a river valley, the valley further gets eroded deep and wide to form a U-shaped valley. Hanging valley. These are valleys eroded by tributary glacier and that hangs over the main valley. Fjords are glacial valleys that are partly submerged in the sea. Next one. Okay, you can see here. Then depositional landforms of glacier. After getting eroded, fragments of rocks and boulders along with the dirt from form glacial debris. Glacial debris gets deposited in the low-lying areas and form depositional features like moraines, drumlins, eskers, camas and outpost plains. First one, moraine. Landforms formed by the glacial deposits of valley or continental glaciers are termed as moraines. They are of various shapes and size. Then drumlin. Drumlins are deposits of glacial moraines that resemble giant inverted teaspoon or half-cut eggs. esker, long narrow ridges composed of boulders, gravel and sand deposited by streams of melting water which run parallel to a glacier are called eskers. Outwash plain. An outwash plain consists of glacial sediments deposited by the melting ice at the terminus of a glacier. It appears as an extensive accumulation of sand, gravel and silt. Next one we will see about wind. Okay, here erosional and depositional. First one we will see about erosional landforms of wind. When air blows horizontally at or near the earth's surface is called wind. The erosional, transportational and depositional action of wind is predominant in an arid region. Erosional landforms of wind. Some of the erosional landforms of wind are mushrooms, rocks, inselbergs and yardens. Mushroom rocks are made up of hard and soft layers. When a rock's bottom is soft and sand-laden winds blow against it and wear it down. By the constant wearing down action of the wind, bottom gets eroded away to form mushroom-like structure. This is called a mushroom or pedestal rock. Such rocks are formed near Jodhpur in Rajasthan. Inselberg is a German term which means an island mountain. Certain hard rocks like igneous rocks are more resistant to wind action. Such isolated residual hills rising abruptly from their surroundings are termed as inselbergs. Example, Ayers Rock, Australia. Then Yarden. In arid regions, certain rocks have hard and soft layers arranged vertically. When winds blow over these rocks, the soft layers get eroded, leaving irregular crests. These are called yardens. Next one we will see about here depositional landforms of wind. Some of the depositional landforms of wind: sand dunes, barchans and loess. Sand dunes in deserts. During sandstorms, wind carries loads of sand. When the speed of wind decreases, huge amount of sand gets deposited. These mounds or hills of sand are called sand dunes. There are different types of sand dunes. Then barch are isolated, crescent-shaped sand dunes. They have gentle slopes on the windward side and steep slopes on the leeward side. Then transverse dunes. Transverse dunes are asymmetrical in shape. Symmetrical opposite asymmetrical in shape. They are formed by alternate slow and fast winds that blow from the same direction. Next one, longitudinal dunes. Longitudinal dunes are long narrow ridges of sand which extend in a direction parallel to the prevailing winds. These dunes are called sieves and Sahara. Sieves in Sahara. Then loess. The term loess refers to the deposits of fine silt and porous sand over a vast region. Extensive loess deposits are found in northern and western China, the pampas of Argentina, in Ukraine and in the Mississippi Valley of the United States. Next one we will see about wave. Here also erosional and depositional. Okay, wave. Sea waves are the most powerful agents of the gradation and the erosional, transportational and depositional process of the depositional process are called confined to a very narrow belt along coastal areas. First one we will see about the erosional land forms of waves. Here sea cliff, sea cave, arc, stack, beach, bar and spit and wave cut platforms. First one we will see about sea cliffs. Sea cliffs are steep rock faces formed when sea waves dash against them. The rocks get eroded to form steep vertical walls. Sea cave. Prolonged wave attack on the base of a cliff erodes rock materials which result in the formation of caves. Sea arc. When two caves approach one another from either side of a headland and unite, they form an arc. Example, Neil Island, Andaman and Nicobar. T-stack. Further erosion by waves ultimately leads to the total collapse of the arc. The seaward portion of the headland will remain as a pillar of rock known as stack. Wave cut platforms. Next one. Flat surface found at the foot of sea cliffs are called as a wave cut platforms. Wave cut platform is also referred as wave cut benches terrace. Next one. Depositional landforms of waves. Beach, bar, spit. Beach, sand and gravel are moved and deposited by waves along the shore to form beaches. This is the most dominant and constructive work of the sea. Example, Juhu Beach along Mumbai coast, Puri Beach in Odisha, and Marina Beach in Chennai. Bar. A bar is an elongated deposit of sand, shingle or mud found in the sea almost parallel to the shoreline. Spit. A spit is a ridge or embankment of sediment attached to the land on one end and terminating in open water on the other end. Example, Canada spit. Just we will see about from this lesson. Leveling of uneven landform is called gradation. Weathering is breaking down of the rocks. Physical, chemical and biological rock are the three types of weathering. Running water, glacier, underground water, wind and waves are agents of weathering. Soil is the weather material covering the earth's surface. Thank you, ma. Take care.